Hey everyone, today we are going to be talking about 10 ideas to stretch your budget when it already is super stretched. And this was a video that I hadn't planned on doing, but I wanted to make sure that the content that I was creating would be useful. And I know that a lot of people are hurting right now, that some people have lost their jobs overnight. And I can't even imagine the stress that's involved with that. So the reason for this video is because our budgets are already thin, but how can we maybe squeeze just a tiny little bit more out of them to make our dollars go a little bit farther? See you back here in 6 seconds. Well, everybody, welcome back to the House of Fi. And if you are new here, welcome to our house. I am Wendy, and I am one half of the House of Fi podcast. We are all about helping families on the road to financial independence. We help moms and dads save more, spend less, and build wealth. And part of that is stretching our budget. And so that is what we are going to be talking today. There's a lot going on in the world right now, a lot of uncertainty, just, industries are being, wiped out, and it's a scary, scary time. I wanted to create useful information that you can use and that you can implement today and maybe get more out of our budget. With the uncertainty, it's more important than ever to keep our budgets thin, to save more, to not incur any additional debt, and having your budget tightened up and stretched a little bit farther is one way to do that. So let's talk about the first tip. The first tip is to review your accounts for all of your recurring charges. Sometimes we sign up for something and we figure, it's only, $7.99, and we forget about it. Well, those add up, $8 here, $10 there, $20 there. You add them all together, and that's a good portion of money. And, if we can save even $25, $40 out of our budget a month, that's money that can go towards our savings. It's money that can go to our food budget. It's money that we can help our neighbors with. So review your accounts, see if there's any auto debits that are coming out that maybe you don't need anymore, that really aren't worth it anymore, or even maybe they can be renegotiated. And that leads us to the second tip, to either request a reduction in service or renegotiate your rate. If you have had a great driving record for a while, maybe it's time to request that your auto insurance reduce your premiums. Maybe you can negotiate your cable, get it down $20-$30. There's all different sorts of ways for you to renegotiate what you're paying. I think given that what is going on right now, a lot of service providers are ready for that. They're ready for those sorts of asks. And like my mother-in-law said, she used to say, a closed mouth does not get fed. It does not cost you a cent to ask, so it is worth asking. The third tip is to really look over your spending habits and see what sort of discretionary spending you are doing. It's easy to have those sorts of things add up. Are you maybe taking one too many trips at the gas station and getting convenience food? One too many trips to the drive-through. Restaurants are open right now, but their drive-throughs are, and given all the stress that's going on, it's understandable that we might be relying on those sorts of, conveniences, and we want to support our local businesses. But at the same time, we also need to take care of our own budget. So review your discretionary spending, see where your money is being spent on, and see what you can cut from that. Even if it's $20, like I said before, if you are cutting all of these little expenses here and there, they do add up and can add up into big savings when you combine them all together. The fourth tip is to see what you can sell. Maybe you made a purchase, or you have some clothing items or purses, or electronics are another good one, old phones. What do you have around the house that you can sell? Put them on OfferUp or eBay and get even just a little bit of cash. They're not making any money just sitting in your closet. So look around, declutter, see what items you can sell. Now, number 4 is cooking your own food from your pantry. I've talked before in other videos about cooking your meals at home to stretch your budget. This, I mean, just a little bit differently. Proteins are by far one of the more expensive items on our budget. So meats, chicken, beef, pork, fish, seafood. They can really be budget busters, but we need them if we eat meat. If you don't, we're talking about different proteins. But you can use a little less meat and bulk them up from items in your pantry, like rice, like pasta, like potatoes. And that's another way to maybe get a few more dollars out of your budget without compromising on taste, without compromising on the foods that you eat and your nutrition. The 5th one is very similar, and that is to grow your own food. So there's lots of tutorials out there on how to garden, how to do little micro gardens, little raised beds, even on your patio. These are a great way to stretch your budget, because if you're able to eat your produce that you've grown yourself, not only is it good for you and it's helping the environment, but also that's stuff that you don't have to buy. That can help stretch your budget a little farther too. The 6th idea is to make your own products. So what I'm talking about here are household products. So for instance, vinegar. Vinegar has a whole bunch of different purposes, cleaning purposes. What I use vinegar for is in my laundry. The boys' clothes get super, super dirty and smelly, and I couldn't find anything to get rid of the smells, and vinegar did the trick. But vinegar can be used in lots of different ways in your household. There's also a ton of recipes and DIYs on Pinterest for how to make soaps, detergents, other cleaning supplies. Not only is it good for you, you don't have the harsh chemicals in your house, it's good for the environment as well, because that stuff isn't going down the drain. So that's another way to make your budget stretch a little bit, is to make these products yourself. The 7th way is to reduce consumption on one-time use items. So things like Ziploc bags, paper towels. We're not very good in this area, but the one thing that we have been trying to cut down on quite a bit is paper plates and paper towels. So we use cloth napkins now, and it's been awesome. I can get a couple uses out of them before I throw them in the laundry. I bought a pack of 25 for $25, and that's going to pay for itself really, really quickly, and they're really pretty and they match with my home decor. In the long run, that is going to save me a ton of money on those paper products. But there's other products that you can use to, instead of buying paper products and plastic products, that there might be some upfront cost to it, but in the long run, that's going to be savings in your budget as well. This one might be, a little counterintuitive, but it's to follow your budget. So another way to stretch your budget is to actually follow it, because having a budget and using a budget are completely different things. So make sure that you have a budget, that you are sticking to your budget, that you're coming back and reevaluating it every few months or so, just to make sure that there aren't things in there that need adjusting or that your spending needs adjusting. And if you need help with budgeting, we have some awesome tutorials for that. I will link some of those resources down below as well. And so here are some of my final thoughts, and these are the final tips kind of all clumped together. And that is that once you have done everything that you can do to get your budget as far as it can go, sometimes that is all that you can do, and it's still not enough. And so the first thing that you should do once you get to that place is to give yourself some grace, because sometimes we just have financial hardship, and there's nothing that we can do about the situation as far as making our dollars stretch farther. So give yourself some grace. We're going through some crazy times right now. Focus on your four walls. Focus on your shelter. Focus on your food. Focus on safety for your family. So like utilities, that doesn't include cable, utilities, your rent or your mortgage, and your food, and taking care of your home. Those are your priorities. The other things right now are not. If you are where you just don't have any more room in your budget to cut. Also, if you are paying more on items, more than the principal on items, stop doing that temporarily. This is the time for you to keep your budget as slim as possible. So if you're paying a little bit of extra towards certain things, it's okay to stop that for now. You have permission to do that. And then finally, know that this situation is temporary. It is temporary. It will not always be this way. Do what you can do. When opportunities come your way to earn more income, go for it. And just know that this is going to change, and it's not going to be this way forever, and that we are here to support you. You can find us on Facebook. You can join our private Facebook group. You can comment below. We are here to support you. So if there's anything that we can do to help support you and get you through this time, please let us know. We would like to welcome you into our family and do what we can do to get through this time together. All right, everybody, be well. Bye.